Hi Floss Tube, this is Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. I chose that title because I do more than just cross stitch. I do knitting, I've done crocheting, not very experienced in that, but I did make a few baby blankets. I have tried needle felting, embroidery, and I thought I'd show you a few things that I have done, and then I'll get into my cross stitching. The first thing I'd like to show you in knitting is this little baby sweater that I made. It's knitted from the collar down and it's done on circular needles. And then the same pattern, I did a larger size. And I made a few of these for babies along the way and I gifted them. These are just some that I've kept so far. A cousin of mine heard that I was knitting and sent me wool from Italy. So I made this sweater. It's probably wool because wearing it, it's very, very itchy. So I don't wear it. I've also knitted this cardigan with short sleeves, and I've learned how to do cabling. So I did do some knitting in the past. I don't do it too much right now. I've made a few hats and scarves. I took a class at a quilt convention on needle felting. It was the first time I tried it, and the pattern is a new flock of sheep. Actually, the pattern goes this way, and it's by Deborah Konchinsky. And this is what we did in the class. The pieces were sewn together when she gave it to us, and we needle felted these two sheeps, and then I added the embroidery stitches. And then I saw online on the internet different cozies like that, and a lot of people put candles on them. I would either put a candle or a vase of flowers on it, and what I did was I drew out these rabbits or bunnies, and then I felted some yarn on it, and then I embroidered on it. So I do that a lot. I'll see something online and I'll say, oh, I can do that, and I kind of copy it. Another pattern I bought at the quilt place show was a garden gate, and it's all embroidery panels. There are 12 of them, and I did them all, but not knowing anything about embroidery, I stitched in hand, where I think if I would have put it in a hoop like I've learned afterwards that it should be, my stitches would have come out better. So these are 3 of the panels that I stitched. This was the garden gate. Let's see, can you see it? And then this was another one. It's the fence with different flowers and different stitches and French knots. And then I guess this was the title of the piece, Welcome to My Garden. And that had a lot of French knots. So when I cross-stitched in the past, I wasn't a quilter yet, and I hadn't taken any classes to know any better. So I stitched this centerpiece on a 14 count, 2/2. I don't know what the pattern is. I looked and I just simply cannot find it. And it was a piece that I used to throw on the back of a couch, and these were just stitched around it. And I didn't know any better to secure the batting in it. So just recently I secured the batting. I put a sleeve on so that I can now hang it and enjoy it. And from taking classes and learning about quilting, I learned how to also free motion quilt. And this is the piece that I don't know if you can see the stitching on here very well, but it was drawn on and then free motion quilted. And it was from the Quilting Makes a Difference by Judy Matson. And it's from the American Quilting Society, backs her and these patterns. I've also bought a book by Judy that has helped me in quilting different quilts that I've made. I don't make very large quilts anymore. I made a queen size, and in the past I did everything by hand. I pieced the whole top of a quilt by hand, and I've done a few big pieces like that. But because I used to say I have better control by hand than on the machine. I can't sew a straight stitch. So, but eventually I bought another machine and I started quilting on it, and I've gotten better. Let's put it that way. But still, now I make um, wall hangings. I'll make baby quilts, lap quilts, but I try not to make anything really, really big because it's hard to do it on a regular machine, getting the fabric underneath the machine to move it around and quilt it. So I stick to smaller pieces now. I guess if I did a big one, I have two options of struggling to quilt it or sending it out to be quilted. Okay, back now to cross stitching, what I've been up to. I have a few finishes. I do these Lizzie Kate pillows. They're the Flip It monthly pillows, and I do them twice. One is for my daughter-in-law, who's the elementary school teacher, Rebecca, and the children love them. She does the calendar every month, and then she'll bring out a new pattern, new pillow. So this is the April pillow, and this is the March. This is my March pillow. Like I said, I do it twice. She has her March pillow. I give her the one with the charm. There was a 4-leaf clover here. There only one charm comes with it, and I give it to Rebecca because the children really enjoy it. Just recently, she told me when she was doing her calendar, she told the kids, "Okay, we're going to do a new month." One of the little children yelled out, "Oh, great, a new pillow!" So it made me feel good that the children are enjoying it. So I have to get her April pillow. And then I also worked ahead and I got May done. And here's her pillow with the little trowel. And then here's mine without it. And then this is my March little house, little country cottage, March cottage. And I have it, this is how I display them. I have it on a hanger, and I put a sleeve in the back, and then I usually put some kind of decoration in the corner, and this is a 4-leaf clover that I found at Joann's. Okay, so that's that one. And I have a couple of finishes. This is the, excuse me, I reach over and get a finished one. This is the Little House Needleworks Virtues, and this is the Love that I finished stitching, but it calls for a button right in the center over Love. And I thought instead of just a plain button like it showed, I think I'm going to look for like something that has some kind of a flower that might blend in with this well. This was the first one I did. It was Peace. And I'm going to finish the pillow in the same way. This is felt wool, and this is the back of it. And I stuffed it. It's really soft because I stuffed it with all my orts from cutting the pieces, cross-stitching, and sewing. I also saved my sewing threads. So I think I have enough to fill this pillow up as well. So that's my finish. The Country Cottage, April Cottage is complete, and now I have to make it a little hanging. So this, whoops, that's the wrong side. This will be the side panels all around it, and then this one will be the backing. Even though this one goes well with it as well, it's just that because the pattern is large, I feel it's going to lose, like you would see so little of it just for a little, thing like this, that I think you would lose it and you wouldn't. So that's why I'm going with the dark. And that's the back. But if you have a preference, or you like to tell me what you think. Awesome. This is, okay, those were my finishes, and these are my whips now. This is Fragments in Time from Summer House, #1 for 2018. And this is how far I've gotten on it. I'm doing it on a 28 count Monaco. The last time I showed you this was, I was wanting to do a small. It's from Plum Street Sampler, Hello Spring. But because of the fabric size that I chose, it was no longer a small. So last time I showed you, it was, you saw it up to right here, the flower, the rabbit. And last night I just did these 4 leaves and that branch. And I think it took me like 4 hours, or maybe 4 hours to stitch that. That's the thing. You don't make much progress in what you think. 4 hours, I can get so much done. It doesn't work. I showed you this pattern the last time, Ink Circles, Terrets and Town. I did start it. I worked on it 4 or 5 days. And but like, it was the snowy days, cold days that you didn't want to go anywhere, so I stayed in and stitched a lot. And this is how far I got. I think this is my homage to Game of Thrones. I love that series, and it just reminds me of it with the castles and everything. So I'm working on that one. My haul. I got a few things. I got the Lizzie Kate Flip It June that I have to make, that I will be making 2 of again. One for Rebecca and one for myself. I just picked up this one at my Needleworker's Delight. It's a Noel from Lizzie Kate, and it's a full package of how to finish, just like it shows the pillow here. And then it also comes with a needle minder, and I think that's why I really chose this one. I do not have needle minders. I have a magnet that was metal that my son brought me back from Hawaii, and it's a little monkey that's holding a surfboard, and I use that most of the time, and that's it. I'm not one to put magnets on my pieces and leave them there. I just use that same one over and over again. Okay, back to my haul. Lizzie Kate again. This is Tiny Tidings #172. Tidy Tidings 167. Comes along with the buttons. And Tidy Tidings 176. I know none of you've seen this, and I'm the only one that has it. It's the Farmhouse Christmas series. #1 and #2. My LNS lets me know when he gets the new one in, and I just run on over and pick it up. So that's about it. I hope you come back again and watch another video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'd like to mention a few cross stitchers that I am thankful for, who've brought me along on my journey, and one of them is McKenna at Stitching in Sequins. Arlene Cohen. I actually had the opportunity to meet Arlene at Needleworker's Delight, and as lovely as she is on camera, she's such a lovely person. I'm so excited to have met her. She is putting together with McKenna the New Jersey retreat, which I was lucky enough